You close your bedroom door. To you, this is normal. A private room, a soft bed, a glowing rectangle beside your face. But imagine someone digging this place up 1,000 years from now. They brush dust from the floor. They find a rectangle of fabric where your body used to rest. They find a small table beside it, holding a dead device that once shined light into your eyes. What would they think you were doing in here? They might call it a sleeping chamber. They might call it a recovery pod. They might call it a shrine to privacy. And the strangest part is, they might not be wrong. Because your bedroom is not just a place where you sleep. It is a tiny museum of modern human life, built around needs your ancestors would recognize and habits they might find completely bizarre. Start with the door. A thin slab of wood or plastic separates you from everyone else. You can close it, lock it, turn a handle and decide that the world stops at this line. That feels ordinary, but it is not ordinary in the long story of human life. For most of your species' existence, sleep was not something you did alone in a sealed private box. People slept near other people, near fires, near children, near older adults, near sounds, smells, animals, weather, and the breathing of the group. Privacy was not absent, but it was different. It was negotiated through distance, darkness, timing, silence, and trust. Not through a personal room with 4 walls and a lock. So if a future archaeologist found your bedroom, the door might be the first strange artifact. Why did this person need a barrier inside their own home? Who were they hiding from? And why did a civilization so connected by invisible signals still build little rooms for being alone? The answer is not just architecture, it is psychology. Your brain needs shelter, but it also needs control. A locked bedroom gives you something ancient camps rarely offered in the same way. The feeling that no one can see you unless you allow it. This is visual privacy, which simply means control over being watched. Not total secrecy, just the power to decide when your body is public and when it disappears. Architectural writer Witold Rybczynski, in his History of the Idea of Home, traced how comfort, privacy, domesticity, and personal identity gradually became part of how houses were designed. The modern home was not always a machine for individual comfort. It became one, and the bedroom became one of its most private pieces. Now look at the bed. To you, it is furniture. To a future archaeologist, it may look like a padded platform for ritual stillness. It is raised above the ground, layered with fabric, covered with pillows, often placed at the center of the room like the most important object in the space. And in a way, it is. The bed is where your body becomes helpless every night. Your muscles relax, your awareness fades, your breathing slows, your defenses drop. That is an ancient problem. Sleep is dangerous because it makes you useful to your brain and vulnerable to the world at the same time. You need it to repair, remember, regulate, and survive. But while you sleep, you cannot scan the dark. This is why group sleeping mattered. In 2017, anthropologist Alyssa Crittenden and her colleagues studied Hadza sleep patterns in Tanzania and found something fascinating. In mixed-age groups, sleep timing varied enough that someone was often awake when others slept. This is sometimes called sentinel-like behavior. That just means the group, without planning it like a night watch schedule, naturally had overlapping wakefulness. Your bedroom solves the same ancient vulnerability in a very modern way. Instead of many eyes around a fire, you have walls. Instead of a shifting group, you have a lock. Instead of shared alertness, you have smoke detectors, phone alarms, security cameras, and a door that clicks shut. The room is a technology for feeling safe while unconscious. But then there's the strangest object of all, the phone beside your bed. A future archaeologist might find it next to where your head once rested and assume it was sacred. It lights up, it holds images of loved ones, it carries messages, it tells time, it wakes you, it entertains you, it watches your sleep, it counts your steps. It stores your fears, your desires, your searches, your memories, and your face. If the bed is the altar of modern rest, the phone is the glowing idol beside it. And here's the twist. The bedroom was supposed to be a place where the world stopped entering, but the phone brought the world back in. Every night, you close the door to be alone, then place a portal beside your skull. News, work, friends, strangers, arguments, advertisements, music, maps, and memories all wait inches from your sleeping face. The future archaeologist might be confused. Why build a private chamber, then fill it with a device designed to break privacy? Why create darkness, then bring in artificial light? Why prepare for sleep, then invite an entire civilization into the last moments before unconsciousness? Sleep researchers have studied how modern light changes the timing of human rest. In 2015, Gandhi Yetish, Jerome Siegel, and their colleagues studied sleep in 3 pre-industrial societies: the Hadza in Tanzania, the San in Namibia, and the Simone in Bolivia. These groups did not sleep in the romanticized way many people imagine. They did not simply drop into perfect sunset to sunrise rest. Their sleep was flexible, responsive to temperature, activity, season, and social life. That matters. It means there is no single pure ancient sleep pattern you must return to. But it also shows something your bedroom hides. Human sleep evolved in conversation with the environment. Temperature mattered. Darkness mattered. Fire mattered. Moonlight mattered. Other people mattered. Your bedroom tries to control all of this. It has curtains to delete morning, lamps to extend evening, air conditioning or heating to flatten the seasons, a mattress to soften the ground, a blanket to create a climate around your skin, an alarm clock to force your body into a schedule. This is not just a room, it is a small artificial ecosystem, and the alarm may be one of its harshest relics. For a future archaeologist, an alarm clock might look like a punishment device, a small machine placed near the sleeper's head, designed to interrupt the most vulnerable state of the human body at a chosen time. It is easy to imagine the label in a museum. Alarm clock, early industrial obedience object, used to synchronize biological organisms with economic schedules. That sounds exaggerated. But is it? Your body does not naturally understand a 9 o'clock meeting. It understands light, hunger, temperature, fatigue, danger, safety, and rhythm. The clock translates the needs of factories, schools, offices, and digital work into a sound loud enough to pull you out of sleep. This is why the bedroom contains a quiet conflict. Part of it is ancient: the bed, the blanket, the darkness, the need for safety. Part of it is modern: the clock, the phone, the work notification, the private schedule. And every night, your body lies between them. Historian A. Roger Eckert famously argued that in pre-industrial Europe, many people experienced sleep in 2 segments: a first sleep and a second sleep, with a waking interval in between. Later scholars have debated how universal this pattern was, and that debate is important, but the deeper point is simpler. The way people sleep has changed with culture, light, labor, housing, and technology. Your bedroom is not natural or unnatural, it is historical. It is a design answer to a particular kind of life, a life where work happens outside the body's rhythm, where privacy is treated as a personal right, where rest is scheduled, where loneliness and comfort can exist in the same room, where the same device that connects you to everyone can keep you awake when no one is physically there. Now imagine the future archaeologist reconstructing your evening. You enter the room tired, you close the door, you remove the uniform of the outside world: shoes, jacket, work clothes, maybe makeup, maybe headphones, maybe the expression you wore all day. You become less public. Then you sit on the bed, not yet sleeping. The room is quiet, but your mind is not. You check the glowing device. A message appears, a video plays, a face smiles from far away. A stranger says something that annoys you. A number changes. A red notification dot asks for your attention. Your body is in the safest room it has. Your nervous system is still in the crowd. That may be the most human thing in the whole room. Because the bedroom is not only about sleep, it is about transition. It is where you move between social selves. Outside, you perform. Inside, you recover. Outside, you are seen. Inside, you decide how much of yourself remains visible. This is why bedrooms often collect strange personal debris: a half-read book, a cup, a charger, clothes on a chair, objects you meant to put away, a lamp, a photo, a drawer of things too random to classify, but too personal to throw out. To a future archaeologist, these scraps might be data. To you, they are life. They show that the bedroom is not a perfect sleep machine. It is a refuge, a storage zone, a dressing room, a memory box, a charging station, a private theater, a sick room, a planning room, and sometimes a place to hide from the rest of the day. That is why the simplest interpretation would be wrong. Your bedroom is not just where you sleep, it is where modern civilization negotiates with the human animal. A mattress says your body wants softness, a lock says your mind wants control, a curtain says your eyes want darkness, an alarm says your society wants punctuality, a phone says your attention is never fully yours, a pile of clothes says the private self is messier than the public one. The future archaeologist may never know your name. They may never know what you dreamed about, what you feared, or why you kept that one object on the table for years. But they could still learn something from the room. They could learn that you belong to a civilization obsessed with comfort, but not always rested. Connected to everyone, but often alone. Protected from weather, but exposed to information. Surrounded by tools, but still carrying an ancient nervous system inside a modern box. And maybe this is why your bedroom feels so important. It is not just a room in a house. It is the place where the future will find the evidence that being human never became simple. Every night you retreat into a private chamber built from wood, fabric, glass, wires, light, memory, fear, comfort, and habit. You call it normal. But normal is just what a civilization calls its rituals before they become strange. One day someone might dig through the remains of your world and find the outline of your bed. They might find the little table, the lamp, the device, the locked door, the traces of a person who wanted to disappear from the world for a few hours, but still kept the world glowing beside their face. And they might understand you better than you expect. You were not just sleeping. You were trying to feel safe. You were trying to be alone. You were trying to recover from a world your body was never fully built to carry. You close your bedroom door, and now it feels less like privacy and more like a future relic.